Welcome to Ask the Pro. I'm Chris Dufay, and this is where I'm here to give you what's needed to create the online business, the money, and importantly, the freedom that you want. The Ask the Pro show has been upgraded, and it's also got a new home, which is turningproacademy.com. Now, if you go to turningproacademy.com, all the podcast episodes, video episodes, and in-depth articles are there waiting for you right now. Plus, if you go to turningproacademy.com/start here, then you can get access to the free coaching guides. So if you want to know how to double or triple your clients in just a few weeks, or if you want to know how to start and grow your online business, be sure to go to turningproacademy.com/start here to get access to it now. Welcome to Ask the Pro. I'm Chris Dufay, and this is where we dive in and peel back what really matters to you building your dream business, earning the money, creating the freedom, and making your mark whilst having fun along the way. And first up, thank you so much for being here. Muchas gracias. And I've come to get into this episode because I actually this morning jumped on my bike, rode down to the W here in Bali, and recorded this episode for you. So if you want to actually see the full episode on YouTube, then jump on over to the Chris Dufay YouTube channel because they're waiting for you as a part of it. But this is with Leigh Bundy. This is really where we are breaking open what is stopping you from you achieving what it is that you want. Because whether it's a better body or more clients or more happiness or better relationships, you name it. But when it comes to getting whatever it is that we want, what can be holding us back? And this is exactly what we jump into with Leigh today. We really dive into how can you change your story to set yourself up for automatic success. What the bad times were for both Leigh and myself that end up as blessings in disguise. What you can start from today to get focused on the few things that really give you the best results, and so you don't get caught up in all being distracted and procrastinating and just farting around, to be perfectly honest as well. So this is an episode where we go deep, and I love that we do, because this is really delving into what it is that you can be actually taking control of today, doing, so you can actually set yourself up to achieve what it is that you want to achieve. Now, I want to make sure if you have not subscribed to the show, please click over and do so, because I don't want you to miss out on the full lineup of everything coming through with you, because there is some killer episodes to come. And also, the best place for you to join us after every episode is in the Fitness Business Success Circle. This is the free group that you can join right now. Get access to the live streams, the guides. Really, just join the trainers and coaches where we come together and we help each other to be able to build the successful businesses that we each want. And we're obviously stronger as a unit rather than just trying to figure it out all on our own as well. So you can join the free group by going to Chris Dufay. That's Chris DUFEY.com/free group. How's that for a nice, easy URL to remember? Now, also, if you want to get the superfood blend, which is our best tasting chocolate greens, that is made with the formula that makes it an all-in-one. It's got the antioxidants, your phytonutrients, even your probiotics, and to be perfectly honest, it just tastes so goddamn good. Be sure to head on over to mybodyblend.com because we've got the bonuses where you're going to get over $100 of bonuses for free if you get it and get it shipped straight to. Now, also, if you want to get the real life insights, the specialist insights into diet, training, and everything fat loss and health, go and tune into the My Body Blends podcast. That is where we're giving you the step-by-step, bringing on literally the world's best. It is all for free on the My Body Blends podcast. So let's jump straight into this because I want you to be able to take action on everything. I want you to be able to use it all. Be sure to join us on chrisdufay.com because you get the free guides and literally you can take the quiz to be able to find out what the exact steps you need to take are for free. So I'm looking forward to hearing from you. Let's jump straight into this episode.
Leigh, thank you very much for taking the time out firstly. We've been trying to catch up for such a long time now.
It's been crazy.
I saw that you were here and I was just like, I'm messaging you straight away. I'm like, okay, first up, I want to dive into so many different things when it comes into what you're really good at. Now, there's two different audiences or two different, let's call it examples or results that we can talk about to bring about.
Yes.
One, people getting in shape.
Yep.
And two, let's talk about business as well, because I feel like there's a really big overlap between we want to achieve something, but why aren't we achieving that? And that's what I see your message and what you're doing and how you're helping people is being able to bridge that gap
Yep.
at the end of the day. So before even we dive into anything, who is Leigh and how have you gotten to this point of sharing your message for what you are?
Good question. So, I've always been into the health and fitness side of things because obviously there's, as you know, being an athlete, you can use that strategy in all areas of life, and most athletes are amazing sports people. I've been doing mindset for about 10 years now. The health and fitness side of things, that's just been something that's been second nature to me, and I love it because it's kept me in a healthy place. Without going into too much, probably about 6 years ago, I lost my way, meaning I didn't know what I knew now. I didn't know where I was going. I got involved with a lot of the wrong people. The thing that saved me, and this is all, let everyone know, was health and fitness. Yeah. So when you'd have a big night or a big weekend partying, everyone else would be there drinking hungover. I would still get up and I'd still train.
Yeah.
I'd still go to the gym. I would still eat right, but then on the weekend drink and the rest of it, But the health and fitness side and that strategy of being disciplined, sacrifice, and wanting to look good and actually love myself really saved me from crashing. And a lot of people, they will abuse their bodies, but then they don't have that sort of pendulum, that compensation. So, cut a long story short, from being an athlete, that sacrifice, that discipline, that mindset enabled me to obviously give that understanding that, you know what, I know that, you can express yourself through your health and fitness, and you express yourself when you go to the gym, and it's almost like a ceremony. You feel great, you've got that testosterone flowing. And I was able to bring that into other areas of my life. So that time of when I just kept going on a downward spiral, I really looked into what controls us, and it's the mind. And I didn't really know what the mind was. I knew it was this grey bit of matter before, and I'm like, do I have one? Or they call it the brain. So being around the right people, and as we were talking about before, having that vibration, being around the right people that actually, not that I can't want to be around you to get what I want from you, but even meeting you this morning, you just like a beacon of light. Like the energy is amazing. And I started being around these people that I'm like, what are you guys? They're good looking, they got women, they got money. I'm like, you must be drug dealers, And they said, no, we're into the self-development game. We're in the NLP, psychology. And I said, NLP? I go, is that some sort of cult? And they said, no, it's the advancement of the mind to achieve a desired outcome. And I said, well, at the moment, I'm like, I knew being an athlete that it's all about the mind, because it starts like if you aren't motivated, if you aren't loving yourself, you're not going to want to go to the gym. You're going to want to eat bad food, because that is the punishment. You're not going to want to grab and have the salad. It's all a strategy. So by doing that, and I'm like, okay, I didn't know what was going on, and it took me a while, don't get me wrong, it took me a while to understand, to firstly take myself into an environment where all these people were positive and I was negative and I wanted to stay in pain. Some people get addicted to pain.
Totally. They play the victim mentality.
Exactly. And I think that they when you talk about overeating and people that eat for that punishment, that it's for a feeling. So one thing that I've been really massive about, and that's why you would have seen the videos, is about we do everything for a feeling, and we need to be that identity, like someone that has a procrastination strategy, and I'm not going to say large person mentality, maybe a mentality that they don't love themselves. They want to go to the gym, but they've still got that old identity, that old recycled energy.
Totally.
So what I really started to work on was, well, I wanted to be this person and I wanted to get out of the pain, but got feathers on our face. And I needed to start to recondition my mind. I needed to start to, because you can sit there and, as people say, depression, and I can, one bad thought, another bad thought, feel sorry for myself all day, eat cake and eat the rest of it. I wasn't sick. I didn't have depression. All I was doing is feeling sorry for myself and layering bad thoughts on my mind. So how I got out of this was, again, going to the gym. When you go to the gym, it's an expression of self-love and self-respect. As you know, it's not, well, look at us ponies. The jealous people say that, Because the funny thing is, you probably get this. A lot of people go, why do you go to the gym so much, Chris? Do you get that?
Yeah, totally.
But they would want your body. Like, before I'm just like, oh my God, look at this guy. And that's respectful. That's someone just like, oh no, look at this hero. I'm like, hold on a second. If you wanted to feel great, and as you know, it's not about how we look, it's how we feel and the energy we portray. So through that journey, putting all these strategies together, I discovered that the combination of, feeling good, going to the gym, mindset, and it all starts and ends with the mind.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I want to share this with the world. I want to share this with other people, because you see a lot of other people there and they're resisting, like they 2 steps forward, they take 5 back.
Totally.
Because they haven't mastered the mind. So I've spent, all these years, and and like I said, it was a significant emotional event when this happened 6 years ago.
Yeah.
And again, as I was just speaking about last October, I've had another significant emotional event.
Yeah.
But I'll say to all the viewers, if I didn't know what I know now, it would be, I'd be on my knees, or I probably wouldn't be telling you the story.
Yeah.
And and that's basically focusing on reconditioning on everything that you want every day.
Yep.
So like I get up in the morning and I will, today I woke up in the morning and I'm wrapped, obviously we're doing this.
Yeah.
And I'll get up, I'll focus on, I'll go for a walk so to get the emotion happening.
Yep.
It's like a turbine. So the more energy you get going, the more energy flows.
Yep.
And I'll put my headphones on. I'll normally put Rocky or whatever, whatever.
Yeah.
What's your boost song?
That's a good question. Training wise, I've been listening to a lot of Daft Punk.
Oh yeah.
Like old school Daft Punk.
Yeah, I might dance too much.
It's a good question. I never really thought about it.
But I put something on there. It's like an anchor, and actually for my retreats, it's actually one of these anchoring songs that just we call it unstoppable.
Cool. Yes.
So I will focus on every area of my life, the energy that I'm putting into it. I'll get the emotion, and I won't say, well, I'm becoming. I'll say it's already happened. Yes, I've already created that, and I put all that energy into that, and I'm like, yeah, it's already done. All I'm waiting for time and space to meet, and then it happens. Yeah. So I do that every morning, and that's been a life changer for me. It's really kept me on the straight and narrow, because we can sit there and just go, oh, I hate my life, focus on the problems. Yeah. Because if you ask any human, what's going on in your life, they will just talk about their problems. Yeah. Most likely. Yeah. But then obviously you've got the great people, like I said, hey, what's going on with you? And you've got all these amazing projects. I'm like, yes, I found someone. So yeah.
You've brought up so many good things. So firstly, you said self-love, and I really want to dive into that, because I think that's something that's really, really important.
Yep.
The other thing you kind of as well was talking around was the fact of the story that we tell ourselves to who we do. And this is something I've been meditating on, grappling with, wrapping my head around of, we are effectively, the results that we get is from the actions that we take. But it's the actions that we take that's from the thoughts that we have. Yes. And the thoughts that we have is from the story that we tell ourselves for who we are at the end of the day. Yeah. And this is where you're obviously being able to transform people on massive levels. And this is where I really see myself going as well, is about how do we change the story?
Good question.
At the end of the day, do you know what I mean? Because if we change the story, we change the thoughts, we change our actions, we change our results. Yep. How do we change our story?
So I actually did a result of I did a live stream about this. It's actually your programming. So our mind's like a computer processor, and it's a timeline. Without getting too, I don't want to lose too many people, but obviously you've got your timeline, and you've got obviously through your past experiences. Yeah. So your mind will be connected to whatever the values, what your beliefs. Unfortunately, what your parents don't know what they don't know. Yeah. So they would teach you what they think is just right. Yeah. Obviously, society is a massive conformity blindfold and whatever. So it's the experience. It's modeling. It's verbal modeling, what you heard, visual modeling, and then physical modeling. So everything that you've seen, that you've heard, and obviously what you've experienced. So the way you change your programming is by focusing and putting that intent on of changing the way you see the world, but doing it every day. So I call it success priming or identity recreation. Okay. Yep. And Tony Robbins calls it 1 hour of power. Deepak Chopra calls it, you can call it meditation. Yep. Whatever word, the words don't mean anything. It's the actual meaning that you give it. Yes. Because what's a word? We don't know if it's true or false. It's just a word. So I will focus on what everything I want, because what you think about or what you focus on, you get what you create. Yeah. Because I'm not going to sit here and say, well, the world and the universe is, what we focus on, the intent, we magnify to us without even knowing, and become unconscious competence. Yeah. So the way we change our programming is on a daily basis. Even if you're sitting on the toilet, even if you've got, a spare, waiting for the bus, you focus on, I like to break it down, my health, my wealth, my family contribution or life purpose, legacy, relationship, and passion and enjoyment. And I will put the energy and the thought into that. And then I will start to go like, this is my life now. While my body, my body's strong, I'm lean, I'm healthy. And then with my wealth, I'll talk about, abundance is my birthright. And then I'll say how much I make per week, per month. It's already done. It comes easy and effortless. So you put the words in there that are going to not be, because a lot of people will use affirmations, which affirmations is, look, and I'm whatever. But they're not really believing it.
Yes.
Do you know what I mean?
Yes.
Declaration is, putting your flag down and saying it's already done. There's no other way. You're declaring it. And then after you do that, obviously we don't have too much time, but I will say, okay, what resources do I need? What lifestyle comes with that? What is the feeling that I'm searching for in all my life categories? Then what is my internal drivers? Why am I motivated to go to the gym? Why am I motivated to create wealth? Why am I motivated, so on and so forth? Then I'll come back and I've got it over there, my Beast Bible, and I will actually write it into existence. So when you write, you're reminding yourself what you visualized, and then you're reading what you're writing, and it's a three-way reinforcement. And then I will write that every day, and then what I'll do is if I'm just sitting down waiting for something, then I'll get the pen and I'll keep writing and I'll focus on it. And then it's so powerful because people will come into your life, the wrong people will go. You get people knocking on the door. You get asked to do amazing interviews like this. So that's a start of it. So
brilliant. And I think like a couple of big things for myself, and I'll put myself out there, is really looking at. One, I've gotten really into meditation, and I've actually can really see the impact and feel the impact now, and journaling as well, kind of like what you're going into. And I think that's really important because I think especially with, and I'll use the example of, I used to write like a gratitude journal every day, but it became a mundane to-do task for me, and I was simply just writing stuff and I wasn't feeling it. I wasn't getting that emotion out of it each day, and therefore I wasn't getting any actual result out of it, where now we're able to like cultivate the activity to be able to feel it. So when I'm writing this, when you're saying those things, that you're putting that declaration down, this is what's happening, this is how it is. There's no other options.
Exactly.
Because like some stuff that I've read before as well that goes down this road is obviously if you say, all right, I earn $10 million a year, if you're just in a shitty state, let's say, your brain's is immediately going to say, no, you don't. Brain's not going to have that belief in it. Obviously what we're doing is we're actually changing our story. We're changing the beliefs that we are. And that's where it's a day-by-day swing, and it's the seeds that we're planting now that we can harvest later when we start doing that.
That is so true.
We're going to take a quick break and we'll be back in a split with so much more for you. Now, I know you're listening and tuning in because you know how important your health is and how this can also catapult your business. This is why I'm very happy to say that this podcast is sponsored by My Body Blends and my favorite, the superfood elixir, the powerful greens drink. Now, this is designed specially to boost energy, aids detoxification, enhances the ability to burn fat, supports healthy carbohydrate metabolism, and best of all, is voted best tasting greens drink. Now, myself and the My Body Blends team are looking for ambassadors to join. So you and your clients get the health benefits plus adding in a strong income stream for you and your business. The ambassador program, which is by application only, means you get exclusive access to sell My Body Blends products like Superfood Elixir to your clients, plus giving you the special ambassador pricing and bonuses. So once you become an ambassador, you can join the other top health and fitness players that are adding thousands to their week's income. Now, there is only a limited number of ambassadors we are taking on board, as this is a tribe leading the way together. So to apply and to join, go to mybodyblends.com/ambassador or add the checkout code that is Turning Pro, all one word, when you're going to get your own superfood elixir to order. Plus, you're going to get free shipping and a bonus to save yourself over $250 instantly. So just use that coupon code Turning Pro in the checkout and you can save over $250 right now, all on mybodyblends.com.
Now, when it comes to self-love, because I think this is something not many people are talking about, and I feel like this is a missing link for so many. How do you help someone cultivate self-love for themselves?
That's huge. I'm glad that you're aware of that, because if you don't have self-love, that's basically the stepping stone. Because why would you want to improve yourself, or why would you want to just move forward if you don't love yourself?
Yeah.
And I think it's a false apparatus that people say, well, I want to be successful, I want a relationship, or I want more money, I want a better body.
Yeah.
Self-love comes to a time when you really need to just block the outside world out and fall in love with yourself.
Yeah.
You know, you look at yourself in the mirror and appreciate what you've got, and you know, it doesn't matter what you look like or whatever. You need to understand that you're breathing, you know, living. You've got air in your lungs, you've got blood through your, you know, veins, and fall in. The way I like to teach you, fall in love the way you want to fall in love, not the way the magazines or TV or anyone, because that's not compatible for you. Fall in love, which is, you know, which makes you go, you know what, I'm able as anybody. I'm amazing. I'm beautiful. And don't just do it because someone said it. Do it and you will feel it. You know, I'm sure that you've gotten, you know, obviously through your success, you're a father, you know, you're a husband, and the way you look is amazing. You know, you don't just get that forced. You have to, you know, that, you know what, like, I do this for me.
Yeah.
And, you know, then I choose to gift it to other people. I choose to have a wife. I choose to have children. It's not like, well, I need to go and have that to fill me up.
Yes, exactly. Okay, so brilliant. I'm so happy you brought that up, because what you just talked about then was getting happiness from yourself.
Yeah.
Not from other things. And so many people are attaching happiness to other circumstances happening.
Yes.
And like, I was using the example the other day of so many people want to, let's say, lose weight. So they go, I'm in this body right now, and this is the body that I want to get into. Yep. There's a gap. There's no need for you to become happy for when you finally get into this body. You can become happy now, and then you can be happy during that process as well. And it's going to be able to work. And I feel like so many people are frustrated and lost because they're in this gap, and they're not being able to focus on.
Do you feel like, because even at the starting point they get better results because they love themselves at the start?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Because I feel like the people that make that decision because they do start that self-love and I'm going to do something better for myself. Yeah. And therefore, because really at the end of the day, and this is what I was kind of stewing on last week, was at the end of the day, and it's shown in science now, so if I do a kind act for you, I'm going to feel good. Yeah. If I see someone else do a kind act to someone else, I still feel good in that. So I can be outside, I can still see that kind act. So with what can happen is, for me doing something good for someone else, it actually still is a selfish thing because I'm going to feel good off it. Do you know what I mean? So therefore, I need to become the best person I can be to then have a better effect upon other people. Yes. Like they say, you can't be, like, there's no need for you to be poor for other people to be rich. Yeah. There's no need for me to be overweight to help other people being overweight. Like, do you know what I mean? It was the transformation that we've gone through. Like, I was a really overweight kid. Do you know what I mean? I had to pull my hair, like, massively overweight. And I had to, like, obviously go through what needs to happen to then come back. Like, with so many people, like, oh, you must have great genetics for this. I'm like, no, that's not the case at all. I didn't know that. That's not the case at all. But okay, this is really good. So
when hide from the sun.
Okay, we might have to shuffle. Yeah. Why do you think people are not achieving what they want to achieve?
Firstly, they don't build up a connection of really making that their internal drivers. So what internal drivers are, it's your motivators, it's your top 5 values in all your life categories. What actually motivates you for, you don't go to the gym and say, well, I want a 6-pack and, you know, a good, whatever, lean. Yeah. It's, you know, it's deeper. It's self-love, self-worth. Yeah. You know, the people talk about money. Oh, I just want to buy a Ferrari. What about freedom, choice, you know, growth? Yeah. Like, I know every time I think about that, and that's because I've conditioned my mind. Yeah. I don't even call money. I call it energy. It's an exchange. Yeah. That's
what it is. Otherwise, it's a meaningless piece of paper or a digit in a computer.
Because, you know, it's just ridiculous. And let's be honest. Most people that they think about money, and because, you know, there's a scarcity mentality. Yep. Maybe our parents had that. Yep. You know, some people might have been lucky and they've had an abundance. You know, they're born with a silver spoon. Yep. But people aren't getting what they want because they're not correcting their identity. So the identity of who they need to be. So it's like an actor. So if you're playing a role in a movie, you can't be, you can't still play Fred Flintstone if you need to be, the Hulk or something.
Yeah.
You need to change their identity. You need to learn the role, and that's like people need to learn the role to become that identity.
Yes.
You learn the lines. Like, okay, I just read it, now I'm sorted, which most people do online.
Yeah.
You need to become that. Read it every day, every day, every day. It's conditioning. So the 4 pillars of change is you need to have an awareness that you need to change. Yeah. Most people do because it's pain.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
Yeah. Yeah.
Where people don't know what the change is, they don't have an understanding what they need to change because they don't get a coach, or they try to make it up, or they I call it like a poor man's education. They, through their uneducated thought, they will read a book, they will, not saying that's not bad, but they will do something, and then they go, okay, look, I've got this information, I'm going to do what I think's right.
Yep.
And unfortunately, it's like saying someone, well, I'm going to go to the gym, but if they would train with you and have that mindset, they would get results a lot easier, faster, and so on and so forth. So they don't have the understanding. And then number 3 is you need to disassociate. So you're not overweight, you're on a journey to lose weight. You need to remove yourself out of it. But people stay in there, oh, I'm broke. No, you just on a journey of creating money or so on and so forth. Oh, I'm lonely, I don't have a partner. No, you need, so you disassociate. And then it's reconditioning. How long did it take for you to get the body you've got now?
Oh, years.
So like the conditioning, isn't it?
Oh, yeah, totally.
So people, firstly, there's the reason why isn't strong enough. It needs to become an obsession, as you know, and a lifestyle, not an idea.
Yes.
They need to focus on it, and they need to breathe it. They need to become them, so they need to recondition it.
Yeah.
So a lot of my clients, I get them to do the success priming or the identity creation. They would do it. Oh, I'll get up here. I'll do it one day here. I'll do it the next day there.
Yeah.
Oh, Leigh, I'm not really getting results.
Yeah.
But the funny thing with that, if I don't ask them if they're doing it because I can tell that they're not, you know? And I'm just like, well, that's the game changer there. You're reconditioning your mind. So, yeah, hopefully that answers it.
No, that's really good. That's really good. And I feel like it's a good stepping stone where we can start getting the listeners, viewers, everyone tuning in what to be able to do. But I also feel like what we can look at is how do you put yourself back on the wagon if you fall off?
That's an amazing question. So really, you need to be, what I've found, this is just probably my recommendation, like obviously everything that we talk about is like, oh, you don't do that. It's just what I've found, and it's helped, thousands of people.
100%. Totally agree with you.
That I would be around someone that's got the results.
Yep.
Yeah, because, we know that we can get back on the bandwagon. We've been doing this for a long time. But I find that it's good that everyone needs someone to look up to. Everyone needs to, it doesn't matter how big and ugly we are, Someone needs to say, hey, come on, pick yourself up. Yep. Like later you'll meet my business mentor.
Yep.
And, it doesn't matter. I've got about, I think, 7 coaches all up. Yep. So, mindset, blah, blah, blah.
Yep. Yep.
And to get back on the wagon, and just say if you can't afford a coach or you don't have a coach, whatever, is start focusing the intent of who you want to be. Put everything of who you want to be. If someone is, who's got the results, there's so much. I always say there's no such thing as, we don't have I'll speak English, an unresourced world.
Yes.
We have an unresourceful mindset.
Yes.
So there's information there, but we just don't use it and abuse it.
Yeah.
So I know, and I'll give you a personal experience. In October, it was another significant emotional event.
Yeah.
And for that time, you focus on, oh my God, what's going on? Rah. You have to disrupt the pattern and just stop focusing on the bad things and start. And it was because when you're feeling, when you're feeling shit, you will still go to the gym, because once you get there, you feel good.
Yeah.
So I know if I get off if my mindset, and it has been for a while, I will get into doing the recreation. I will force myself by focusing on what I want, and I will write it. When you write it, it's more of let's not, because your mind can go everywhere. Yeah, you probably, I don't know, you get like that as well.
Yeah.
And I'll sit there and go, I'll write down what I want, because when you're writing, you can see if you're writing bullshit.
Yeah.
When you're thinking, I'm going to think about my body. I have to do that.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, monkey mind kicks in.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I'll sit down and I will write myself into existence, and I will sit there and I'll put down, that's my health, and I'll colour it in, and I'll focus on it,
Yeah.
And I'm like, concentrate on it.
Yeah.
But that's a good way, but let's be honest, only really strong, motivated, willful people do that.
Yep.
A way, if you're going down, is you want to get a coach to say, hey, I've got you, you can lean on me.
Yep.
Someone that's been there, done that, even if, it can be a friend that's got the results that can tell you. Because one thing I'll say to the viewers, which is really important, you know, if they go off the bandwagon of losing weight or mindset or feeling depressed, so, you know, I say it, I do that on purpose.
Yeah.
If you just sit down, just tell me how you're feeling. If you're just talking rubbish and you're talking bullshit, you're recertifying, and I'm saying, you know what, Chris, it's okay, and it doesn't exist. Like, you're actually creating an identity, and you're actually hurting yourself more. So when you go to a psychologist or you go to someone and just tell me what's going on, and you're creating all this stuff that doesn't exist, all this bullshit, you're actually making it worse.
It's like you're concreting it in.
Yeah. Oh my God, I'm overweight. I'm shit. Oh yeah, you know, you'll be right. You know that's okay, and that's a real big thing that, you know, it's a big stigma. So don't talk yourself into existence. Be very careful of your language. Write yourself into existence. Focus on it. Be around people like yourself. Be around people that, you know, want to grasp life and want to go and achieve. Positive people as well.
So I completely agree, because the environment that we put ourselves in is so important. And like with me finishing this book at the moment, it's really interesting when I was diving into the kind of research on psychology to say like willpower for a diet, you should never rely on it. Because at the end of the day, your willpower will always run out. Like, how common is the scenario? You've woken up, you've had a good breakfast, you've maybe trained in the morning, you had a real stressful day, it was super busy at work, you've done 101 things, you get home, you're hungry, tired, depleted, and you eat the cookies and the ice cream, and you can't stop yourself because your willpower is like a battery and it literally runs out. And that's why if you surround yourself in the environment that allows you not to do that. So firstly, like in this example, don't have the food in your house. Okay, what about maybe like using a coach? Perfect example, because perfect. Like, I'll put myself out. I just spent 20 grand for a coach, and it wasn't to do anything really that I didn't know. I can 100% respect him, love him, adore him, but it's doing and just following through with what I need and having someone accountable too.
Accountability,
and it's changed everything immediately, straight away. I was like, okay, earn tenfold from it. Can't believe the changes that can happen so quickly. But then I guess the social support environment I think is really important as well.
It's huge.
And you said it before, when you start changing yourself, like your vibrations start changing, at the end of the day you start attracting in the right people, and the wrong people start getting away, and that's exactly what we want. And we want to be able to consciously focus on actually making those decisions as well, especially at that start. And I really appreciate you bringing that up, because that's really good.
No worries. And that's I like just to talk about, you know, I know that in life I fuck up. And even like in the past experience, it's just like my vibration was like, I didn't know where I was coming or going. And so you attract that sort of energy. And then once you get on the point and you're, okay, this is where I'm going, people that don't want to raise your vibration will start to drop off. And it's not a personal thing. It's nothing like, hey, we're better than you. But they don't want to come up. I must say, hey, let's do that. And unfortunately, those people will start to pick things, or they will slowly start to fade away. But you know, like what's happened here, you attract amazing people, and hey.
Last thing, for what you want to be able to ask of the viewers, the listeners, everyone tuning in right now, what do you want them to take action on today?
Really just connecting with what makes you happy. Sit down, get organised in life, get organised and sit down, and at the end of the day, you know this as well, if you don't have your health, you're not going to be able to make money. You're going to be looking at the hospital ceiling. You're not going to have the energy. Firstly, you're not going to, you know, if you're sitting there and you don't love yourself, and you're not going to be motivated to be confident to do a video or walk around in a bikini or whatever. So what I would say is, firstly, break down. If you don't have your health, you don't have anything. You don't. You're not here. You're not here to operate. So what I would say to everyone is, sit down, get organised. What gets you excited? What gets you motivated? And just at the end of the day, what makes you happy? You don't need to force success. You don't need to strangle it. You don't need to put a gun to your head. And what I would say is, be that beacon of light. Help someone else out. Like if you know something, if someone asks you to do something, or you see someone there, just do a nice gesture. Because if we can do one nice gesture and help someone out, and what you said is gold, and I'm going to steal that. I love that. If someone sees you doing a nice thing, you make them feel better, and then it's like the ripple effect. Totally. But what I would say, like to give people some real value, is sit down in all your life categories and create an identity that impels you. Create an identity and name it, and then
practice it, condition it every day. So what's your identity for health? What's your identity for wealth, contribution, family, relationship, and passion and enjoyment? And you have to do everything with a smile. I know with myself, I can be like a hard ass, and people mix up my passion with aggression, because we're big guys as well, and
tat it up, you know what I mean, but that's not what it is at all.
That was my past, and I don't really like, and it can really hold, that's another story, but you really want to just give people, again, this is another thing, give people an understanding. Don't like judge people from their character. Let them come in, and brighten their day up. So create the identity you desire, be happy, put a smile on your face, and really just get organised in life.
Love that. Okay, totally love that. Now, where is the best place for everyone to come and learn more about you? Where should they go right now?
Well, we've got the Beast Mode website, so you can obviously get on my Facebook, which is fantastic. You can send an email to Leigh, Leigh, at beastmodeaustralia.com. I've got this sun.
The sun, there's cameras, it's all going on.
But most important, send me a relaxed message on, because some people, they go, how do we contact you? Like on Facebook, send me an inbox, email. Email's a little bit formal. But you find us on our website. The website's actually Beast Mode INTL. It's a click funnel system that we've got. But send me an inbox, and I'm happy to. Yeah.
So I'm just going to make sure, I'm going to pop the link below so you can get actually onto. You can see everything that Leigh's doing. I highly recommend it. I'm going to have to get you back on. We're going to have to do a lot more of this, because I feel like we've just scratched the surface as to what's going on. So I really appreciate it.
No worries, buddy. Thank you for having me.
Thank you so much for being here, and if you've liked this episode, please share it out and make sure that you are subscribed so you don't miss out. Now, to really get the most out of you being here, go to turningproacademy.com/start here. There you can get access to the free coaching guide. So if you want to know how to double or triple your clients in just a few weeks, or if you want to start and grow your online business, be sure to head on over to turningproacademy.com/start here to get free access to it now. And as always, I'm so thankful for you being here, and I'm really looking forward to you joining next week in the new episode.